Get ready for the show, it's about to begin. Pro fan talk when we dive right in. Sports talk, hot takes, ain't nothing we lack. We the real fans, nothing holding us back. Mic check, 1, 2, y'all know the drill. We bringing the energy, we keep it real. From touchdowns on the quick air on the slam dunks on the court. Every sport, every game, we holding down the fort. We breaking down the plays, dissecting the stats. Pro fan talk, we keeping it fat. Debating with passion, no filter, no doubt. We the voice of the fans, we scream and we shout.
Of course, I got the mute button. They got me all jacked up. Thought I was going to be talking about the W today, and then the NFL smacks us with the news with the schedules and stuff. And it's like, come on, man. Like, what is really happening? What's really going on? So it could have been better, but I guess can we really? I mean, you can't really bitch, moan, and complain about it because we won the Super Bowl, and this is what happens. You get the worst possible scenario after you win the Super Bowl because you get the hardest schedule, and everybody else get an easy schedule. But you take it on the chin. You earned it. So I guess I ain't gonna complain that much. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. All the talk done started already with the Cowboys fans. I saw some Washington fans popping off. So everybody trying to get it in, man. Everybody trying to get in. You know what? I haven't even looked at the Giants schedule yet, Alex. I'm about to check that out. I've been so concentrating on the Eagles. I ain't checked out the rest of the league yet, but I know some other teams out there that got some rough schedules. So we'll get into that a little bit later, but just glad they finally got it out. Now the smack talk can begin. Carlos, I ain't scared of nobody. I ain't scared of nobody now. But I always just find it funny, some of these games, why they not on prime time is confusing to me. But again, I'm not making a schedule. So, Alex, you got us at 13-4, undefeated at home. Okay. All right. I ain't mad at that. I reserve judgment. I need to see what we look like in camp. I need to see what we look like in a couple of games. But 13-4, I can live with. I look at things differently. I don't care. I mean, I care about the record, but I don't care about the record. What I care about is making it to the playoffs. Detroit had a good record, right? There's a lot of teams. The Rams had a good record. Baltimore had a good record. A lot of people had a good record, and then they just didn't get it done in the playoffs. What I look at more so than the record is when you get to week 13/14, all of the teams have had their bye weeks. How are teams playing at the end? That's what I'm looking at. Last year, we were in the zone. They couldn't touch us. Saquon was doing things we had never seen before. I think I remember saying this last year. I looked at Saquon like David Ortiz. David Ortiz had a run when he was with Boston. And it seemed like, at least it seemed like to me, every time I turned on baseball and I tuned in to watch the Red Sox play, David Ortiz was up to bat. And every time he was up to bat, he either knocked it out of the park or got on base. That's just what that's what it seemed like to me. I know it probably wasn't like that, but I know for a minute, about 3 times in a row, when I turned on baseball to watch David Ortiz, he hit the ball out of the park. And I was like, what the hell's going on? Shohei Ohtani is the same way. That kid from Cincinnati, that shortstop, is the same way. Saquon Barkley was that way last year. Every time you tuned in, he would do something ridiculous, off the charts. You already know it was some guys that tuned in to watch us play the Commanders, and that first play from scrimmage, he takes it to the house. His first carry, he takes it to the house. Yeah, Carlos De La Cruz. Yes, from our Cincinnati Reds, man. He's ridiculous, man. He's ridiculous. But that's what Saquon is. He's that dude. And every time he's on the field, you sitting on the edge of your seat because you think he might do something. But I'm saying all that to say, we still got the goods. I'm not worried about the schedule. I'm worried about what the Eagles look like going into week 13/14. What do we look like injury-wise? Is everybody healthy? Is that sort of thing? Because it's not always the best team that gets through the playoffs. It's usually the healthiest team. And as you see some of these other teams in all various sports, in hockey and basketball, I mean, I said this the other night. Look at what just happened to Jason Tatum. And look at how the Celtics are right now without him. You want to take a bet, put a couple bucks on the Celtics to win the NBA Finals. Them odds just shot up. But my point being, any injury, any kind of crazy thing can just change the trajectory of your team in a heartbeat. If Greenlaw doesn't tear his Achilles running on the field in the Super Bowl, do the 49ers win that game? I think that was a Super Bowl, or was that a conference championship? I think that was a Super Bowl. If that doesn't happen, do the 49ers win that game? He's the leader of their defense, and he's just running on the field doing some everyday normal stuff. And that's why I say one step away. Every team is one step away. Sometimes you succumb, sometimes you get lucky. I remember when the Eagles played the Rams in the snow, that game at home, and Jalen Hurts took that shot to the knee. He didn't take a shot, but he fell funny and had his knee bent backwards. If he gets bent back a certain way, or he's an inch to the left or to the right, we're looking at a whole different set of circumstances right now. And probably not a good future forecast. It's amazing how that happens. I've seen that happen to Jalen Hurts twice, where you got a real scare for a knee injury Both of them were against the Rams. In 22, early in the year, Jalen broke a tackle and just his leg planted weirdly and his knee buckled. It was a weird thing. We were playing in LA, and I remember jumping up out of my seat screaming because I thought he tore his knee. That's how bad it looked. But he didn't. Bent the ankle a little bit, but his knee, it was weird. It was weird. It did not look good at all. And he kept on running, got the first down, and we kept on moving. Ended up and that was 22, I believe. So ended up shutting out was it 22 or 23? Whenever it was, we ended up shutting them down in the second half and taking the victory. Was that Oren? Yeah. He was replaced by Oren Burks. Yep. So you never know. So like I was saying with Jalen, that time in 23, and then last year when we playing at home, he gets folded over, and an inch to the left or to the right, it could have been disastrous, but it wasn't. We lucked out. We lucked out. So, and I'm already sick of the Cowboys fans talking shit. I'm already tired of them. You got you got a draft pick. You got a rookie already talking stuff. You got that dude Tyler. What's his name? What's the offensive lineman that they just drafted? I mean, he's good. Let's not get it mixed up. The kid is good, but you a rookie, bro. And you talking shit on a third-year player going into his fourth year, or is he going into his second or third? Whatever it is, Jalen Carter is not the one to be trifled with. Jalen Carter is going to be the best defensive player in the league next year in 25. That's not the one you talking shit to. Not to mention, you play for Dallas, bro. You need to know better than trying to Tyler Booker. Thank you. Throwing up bulletin board material. And you just got into camp. You ain't even had a chance to do anything yet. So you really can't talk. You need to worry about dealing with the dudes on your own team. So I'm not trying to hear all of that. But you want to store up that hornet's nest, you go right on ahead. You go right on ahead. So you say 88 say you want all the smoke. You want all the smoke. I ain't mad at you, man. I'm not quite there yet because I need to see us in practice. I need to see Jalen Hurts take control. I need to see, I just need to see those things. That's just how I'm wired, man. That's just how I'm wired. I was never a big shit talker. When I played, even when I was in college, I was not a big shit talker. I was one of them dudes that was I would just shake my head like, all right, I got you. And I used to tell guys all the time on the field, the only thing I used to say is, hey, man, assholes and elbows. Assholes and elbows, because that's all you going to see of me when I'm running by you and you chasing. Assholes and elbows. That's what would happen. Them dudes be tackling you. You always know the crazy stuff that happened to you on the bottom of a pile, especially when you were running back. And you got the ball in your hands, people trying to spit on you, trying to spit in your face mask. They spit on their hands and try to, dig in your ear and put their nasty gloves in your eyes and, kicking a little turf pebbles in your face. And if you playing on the grass field, they're trying to kick sand in all of that shit, man. All of it. And now you assholes and elbows, man. That's all you're going to see of me. And sure enough, I would find that one dude and I would run by him. I used to do this thing where I could stiff arm somebody and I would just make my arm go limp. Because I would go for a stiff arm and then they try to grab your arm. And then I would just make my arm kind of bring it back, kind of make it go limp. And I would just snatch it out of it and run past the dude. So, yeah, we ain't talking shit right now, man. I'll do it to you on the field. Lane Johnson say 17-0. All right, bull. I ain't mad at that. RJ. Not a little bit. If he say it, I'll roll with it. Let the dudes on the field talk the smack. Let the ones on the field that's going to be in the trenches, let them be the ones to talk the smack. I'll follow his lead. I ain't mad at that. But looking at the schedule now, everybody know week 1. They've been talking about this for the last couple days. Week 1, you got Dallas. Let me see what this other one looks like. It might be easier to read. Yeah, see, these don't. I want to see the times really, because they screwed us with the times. They really screwed us with the times. So we got Dallas Thursday night football. I hate Thursday nights. We got one, two. Thursday night is prime time. Week 6 at the Giants. That's prime time. Monday night football against Green Bay, prime time. Sunday night football against Detroit. So we got Monday night football and then Sunday night football. Green Bay at Green Bay, and then Detroit comes to town. That's going to be a good game. Then we go to Dallas in week 12. Chicago, Black Friday, Chicago Bears. That's going to be actually a good game, but I don't think Chicago can mess with us. Then we got the Chargers. We got the Chargers on Monday Night Football. Then the Raiders come to town, go to the Commanders, Buffalo. Buffalo, how the hell did they put us in Buffalo in week 17? What the F? What is that? They put us in cold-ass Buffalo at week 17. Why? Why would you do that? See, that's the NFL bullshitting with us. That ain't right there. Week 17 in Buffalo? Are they gonna have to shovel, get the community come out and shovel their way into the stadium again? Oh my God. That's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah. So we got Cowboys week 1, Kansas City. They put us Kansas City week 2. So we go to Cowboys and then we got to go to Kansas City for the rematch. Week 3, the Rams. Week 4, Tampa Bay. Week 5, the Broncos. I hope we just destroy the Broncos because I hate Sean Payton. Week 6 at the Giants. Week 7, Minnesota. I want to slam Minnesota. Week 8, the Giants come to town. Week 9 is the bye. So we get the perfect bye this year. Last year, our bye was a little early, but it came at a good time because we had traveled to Brazil, and it was just better for us to have that early bye week. And that ended up helping us out tremendously. So, but I think week 9 is the perfect spot for a bye. So as long as everything goes, we don't get crazy with the injuries and stuff like that. If we can stay healthy, week 9 is the perfect spot for a bye week. So I like that. Week 10, Green Bay. Week 11, Detroit. Do we have Detroit twice? No, we don't. Detroit comes to town in week 11. Sunday night football, another prime time. So that's good. Then we go to Dallas. Dallas is going to be an afternoon game. Watch that. That's probably going to be like a 1 o'clock game. We got to travel to Dallas, and then they make it a 1 o'clock game because we lose that hour. They be screwing us, man. They be screwing us. Dallas should be a primetime game. Chicago Bears Black Friday at LA Chargers. Why did they stick the Chargers in there? I'm trying to figure that out. Exactly. Thursday games, exactly. Because it always, I don't know, it always screws up the schedule. I don't like that either, but they want to put you on TV when you win the crown. That's 2 Thursday games is 1 Thursday too many. Everybody hates Thursday games because it screws up your schedule during the week. So I don't like the Thursday games. So hold on. So let's look at, okay, week 1 is Thursday. When's the second? Thursday night, week 6. And see, yeah, look, so the Broncos come to town in week 5. So I'm guessing that's going to be a 1 o'clock game. And then we got the short week going into Thursday night football. So that's usually how they do that. So we host the Broncos. That's probably going to be a 1 o'clock game. And then the Thursday night football. And you know what? You can't really complain that much because we going right up the street. We don't have to travel. We going right up the street to the Giants. So that's really like a home game for us. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that bad when you really look at it and you think about it from that perspective. It's not that bad because it's the Giants. So it could be worse. It could be a hell of a lot worse. So I'm good with that. Blunt, appreciate the 199, bro. Appreciate the 199. Go to Eagles page on X with times. All right, I'll do that. Good looking. I was on there earlier. Let's see. Okay, okay. Oh, okay. I see what we got. So I don't like this. September 4th, 8:20. Yep. So I knew that was prime time. Then we got a 4:30 game when we play the Chiefs. Then we got the Rams at 1:00. Then we go to Tampa Bay, another 1:00 game. Home against the Broncos, like I said, at 1:00. Then we got the Thursday night game at prime time, 8:15. Then we go to Minnesota, another 1:00 game. See, that's the thing where they screw you when you got to get out of your time zone, but they make it an early game. That sucks. I hate that. I hate that. Then you got New York again at home, another 1:00 game. Then we got the bye week. Then we go to Green Bay. That's a primetime game, thankfully. Then we go to 16th, host Detroit. That's a primetime game. Then we go to Dallas, 4:30 game again. Then we go to Chicago comes to town. That is a afternoon game, 3 p.m. Then the Chargers. How the hell did we end up with the Chargers, man? I'm still trying to figure that out. We got to go to the Chargers? What the fuck we got to go to LA? That's an 8:15 game because that's on the West Coast, obviously. The Raiders come to town. Las Vegas comes to town. That's a 1:00 game. Washington is 4:30. Buffalo is 4:30 in Buffalo. Lord have mercy. And again, why do they do that to us? Why is it Washington? Why do we play the Commanders like twice in 3 weeks or something like that? Why do we always end up doing that? We play a conference rival twice in 3 weeks. I hate that. Like, space it out. Why couldn't they have moved that game with the Chargers later in the season or earlier in the season? I hate that. Washington, Buffalo, Washington. So we got Washington at home for week 18, the final game of the season. That's crazy. But, it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, no back-to-back home games, but we got, 2 back-to-back away travels. But we nitpicking. We nitpicking. I can't get into it too much. I mean, I'm not gonna nitpick that much because at the end of the day, it's we shining rings, man. So I'm not going. I got to curtail the complaints. We shining the rings. So it is what it is. I ain't mad. I ain't mad. Everybody's still gunning for us. We reloaded. We got the squad together. Like the Blues Brothers, we getting the band back together. The only question mark, and it'll answer itself in time, is the Kevin Patullo thing. To me, that's the only question mark with the Eagles right now. I am confident of Moro Ojomo. I am confident that Jihad is going to be a player. I am confident that Ty Robinson is going to be a player. I am confident of Jalix Hunt. I'm confident of Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis. Our defensive front in the trenches is going to be just fine. Moro Ojomo, look for him to do some things this year. And our offensive line, come on, do we even have to talk about them? We still got to talk about them? And while Saquon might not get another 1,000 yards or 2,000 yards, I can see him getting 15 plus. And that's a damn good season for a running back. 1,500 yards. So We'll find out by the end of this month. And this is something that I completely forgot about. It's on everybody's brain, and it's going to be on everybody's brain again. Now that once the excitement of the schedule kind of dies down, then everybody's going to be going back in for the rest of the owners' meetings, looking at what's going to happen with the tush push, what they're going to do, and what they're going to rule. I think they're going to try to ban it. That's why they waited on. They're trying to get more votes and all of that type of stuff. And I think they're going to end up banning it. But let me be honest with you. With our offensive line and A.J. Dillon and Ty Robinson and Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley, I say go overload left, put Ty Robinson, Jordan Davis, and A.J. Dillon in the backfield and just run to a location and let physics do its thing. Jordan Davis runs a 4.7. A.J. Dillon can squat damn near 600 pounds. You got A.J. Dillon, Saquon Barkley, and Jalen Hurts can squat more than most offensive linemen in the NFL. That's your backfield when you go short yardage. So, yeah, I think we'll be okay. If they do try to ban it, we'll figure out another way to run it. Because, honestly, I don't think we need it. I like that we have it, but if push come to shove, we'll be all right. Like I said, go look at them tapes of Ty Robinson lining up at fullback at Nebraska. I'm good with that. We can make that happen. Put Big Jordan Davis back there. You are not going to win the battle of physics. With Ty Robinson, Jordan Davis, and A.J. Dillon, you are not going to win that battle. I'm sorry. You can't do it. So we got plenty of aces up our sleeves that we can pull out for this. So I trust, I have supreme confidence that Nick Sirianni has already figured out a plan B if they do ban this thing. Because once they ban it, they got to stipulate what the rules are. Are the rules that you can't push a quarterback behind the line of scrimmage, through the line of scrimmage? Is like, what are they going to do? Because the one thing that they got to keep aware of is what happens if you 5 and 10 yards down the field and the defense is pushing you back. Can your offensive lineman come and help? Are they gonna bring that rule back and try to enforce it? That's what I want to know. How far are they gonna go with the rule? And once we find out the letter of the law when it comes to that, because you already know when they have rules like this, they over enforce it at the beginning of the year. They overdo it, and they do it that way on purpose, just to let everybody know, like, hey, we ain't playing. We gonna call it. Blah blah blah. They did it last year. In the last 2 years, remember when they was calling all them offensive linemen for lining up off sides because they was taking off too early, or the line of scrimmage would be bowed back. And they told us they had memos. They had memos that went out to all of the teams in the NFL that, hey, we are going to call this. So be aware of it. And they sure did. Until they got to the regular season. And then they kind of toned it down a little bit. And this is probably going to be the same thing, but it'll be a little bit different because we the only team that run it successfully, consistently. So if they do ban it, I want to have the letter of the law. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. So probably say you can't push the ball carrier, but I feel there's a way around that. If I'm a guard, defender. Yeah, I think they're going to say if you are lined up behind the quarterback, you can't push the quarterback while the ball is behind the line of scrimmage. I think it's going to be some type of verbiage like that. So, and it's like, okay. All right, we got two fullbacks weighing 285 coming at you. One weighing 285 and another one weighing like 330 coming through the hole. Y'all have at it. That's what I want to see. They already got it. They already got it worked out. I trust that they do. That's what I want to see them do, because they tried to do that before and it just was not in the spirit of the game. You can't, if they haven't determined that a ball carrier is down, and the defense is piling on to push them backwards, and the offense is piling on to push them forward, I think that's part of football, and you should let it go. That's part of it you should let go. So for me, I think the smart thing to do would be it has to be something in regards to the line of scrimmage. It has to be. Has to be something in regards to the line of scrimmage. Or like to the point where you can't physically put hands on the quarterback and push him. And that's the other thing. Is it going to be the ball carrier or is it going to be the quarterback? Is it going to be specific to the quarterback sneak? Or is it going to be any ball carrier behind the line of scrimmage? And like I need to hear the letter of the law on this one. So yeah, but you know what the biggest thing is, and this is just my I was working on a video about this and then it just got lost in the sauce. I ain't even done it, but I'm definitely gonna go back and do it where I broke down why does the tush push work for us? Why does the brotherly shove work for us? And I saw a couple of top views, right? And because of the way we line up and we got super tight splits and everybody is super bunched, there is always a gap on the defensive line. The second or the third guy on a line of scrimmage, there's always a gap because the second or third guy, depending on how the defense is lined up, the second or third guy is usually a defensive tackle. And the man outside of him is usually a defensive back. So there's usually a gap because you don't want your defensive back that's 6 foot 205 lining up against a tight end or another defensive tackle or offensive lineman, depending on what kind of package they got in the game. You don't want that mismatch. So there's always a gap on the left side. And a lot of the sneaks that we did, the shoves that we did, Jalen Hurts just kind of slid to that gap and then they pushed him through that gap. And I don't understand why the defense, where they would always jump over the pile. The minute you jump over the pile, you've already lost because when you jump over the pile, your feet are in the air, which means they can push you any old kind of way. And you have nothing to do about it. I saw Jalen a couple times kind of get airborne over the pile, and then he basically crowd surfed over the pile. The guys pushed him by his legs and the bottom of his feet, and he basically just surfed over the pile. And it's the same way for the defense when the linebackers and the defensive backs try to jump over the pile. And it's like, dude, once you leave your feet, you are vulnerable to whatever comes your way. And if you do make contact, you have zero leverage. Zero. A couple of times they were trying to jump over to spear Jalen in the helmet. I believe that. But they just couldn't get it done. So, yeah, they want that Polamalu highlight. They just not going to get it. Polamalu never had to kind of get a guy that can match his strength. At quarterback, he didn't have to worry about that problem. He did not have to worry about that problem. So I'm very curious and very interested to see how this is going to come down by the letter of the law. That's what I want to see. And I guess we're going to find out by the end of the month because they go back to the owners' meetings at the end of May. So we'll see what's going to happen. We'll see what's going to happen. But they ain't going to stop it. We got too many good guys that we can put on offense and we'll be fine. We'll be fine. So me with the Stanley Cup. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Oh, you know what? Speaking of cup, I don't know why you made me think of this. Let me show y'all this. I don't know if I showed you this yet. Picked this up at the liquor store. Yeah, this is dope. Picked this up at the liquor store. This is a bottle of whiskey. Look at that. Kentucky bourbon, straight whiskey. Hold on for a second. Let me see. Yep. Kentucky bourbon, straight whiskey. Look at that. That beautiful. Look at that label. That's what I'm talking about. World champions. Guess how much it cost? $59.99. $59.99 for Super Bowl 59. I was like, that's dope. Y'all got me. I don't even drink like that. Last time I had bourbon was when I was cooking barbecue and I made some pulled pork and I made a bourbon rub on it. I don't really drink alcohol like that. But I bought that bottle as soon as I went looking for one. And I was like, y'all gonna get my $60 tonight. So that's on the shelf. You know, I don't plan on opening it. So maybe I'll open it the next one we win to celebrate. Pour myself a shot or something like that. So I don't know. You know, whiskey is that's bourbon is brown liquor, which ain't nothing but sugar. And you know, black men and sugar, we got to watch our sugars, man. You know how that go. But yeah, I thought that was cool, so I grabbed one, man. So um, but yeah, thank you, Tiff. Um, it's it's nice to be. Everybody wants what we have. Everybody. Um, 88. I got that. I saw somebody else had it. I saw somebody else on Twitter had it, and I asked them, and he just was like, check the liquor stores. And that's what I did. I went to a local liquor store right here in South Jersey, and the first place I went, they had a little marquee for it. And it was $59, and I was like, sold. So just look for your local liquor store, or try to get in touch with a liquor store, like maybe in South Jersey or the Philadelphia area, because I'm sure you could probably go online and you can buy one online and they'll ship it to you. So, does the team send us any alumni Super Bowl gifts? Nah, I'm not that. I'm not in that pecking order. You know what I'm saying? If I go to games as an alumni, I might get some tickets, some free tickets or discounted tickets, or they might put me up in the FanDuel room, which is a very nice place to watch the game, free food and all of that type of stuff. But I'm not one of them alumni that when I tell Jeffrey Lurie I'm coming to the game, I automatically get a suite or something like that. I ain't got that type of status. Now I've hung with some guys before. I remember last time I was in the suite, we went to the alumni game. Everybody was up there: McNabb, Ike Reese, uh, Westbrook, B Dog, Trot. Like it was a lot of people up there, but it was just like one room for all of the alumni. So normally I'm good. You know, I can kick it in the stands or I kick it in the FanDuel room, but I ain't got that type of suite status. I ain't got the executive suite status. You know, Brian Dawkins, he a Hall of Famer, so he sit in the box with Jeff Lurie. He got it like that. You know, I ain't got it like that, but it's all good though. Still hang with the fellas, see them all the time, and you know it is what it is. So, facts. I got a bunch of pictures with Jeff Lurie and Howie Roseman. Like they know me. You know, if I saw them walking down the street, they would recognize me as alumni. But I can't call them on the phone. That's how I look at it. That to me, that's the threshold when you can call somebody your friend. You know, we talk about a lot of people ask me about ex players who I still hang with, talk to, and stuff like that. Um, and I narrow that down to people. If I got you in my phone and I can call you, that's somebody I consider a friend, especially if they call me back. Like Willie T. Willie T is my friend. He was the best man at my wedding. So if I call him, he'll call me back. Barrett Brooks, he's a friend. If I call him, he'll call me back. Urban Fryer. Um, I consider Brian Baldinger a friend. Um, I consider Vaughn Hebron a friend. You know, and some of the older guys that I played with. So, you know, you get it like that with some, and then of course you know everybody, but you don't know everybody. Like for instance, I done seen like I got Brian Westbrook's number, right? But I see him at events, and again we recognize each other, and I always take pictures with him because I was like, hey man, we two are the best one AA running backs that ever did it, like stuff like that. But B West, I'm not calling Brian like, yo, what's up, man? What you been up to, bro? Everything good? Like, we don't have that type of relationship. So it's funny. Yeah, Vaughn Hebron still look 25. Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. Um, from your experience, do you think putting my 6-year-old in wrestling will give him good foundation for football or sports in general? Absolutely. Absolutely. Put him in any sport. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. You got to put them where they have a good teacher. Where they have a good teacher. I'll tell anybody. I'd say this from my own experience. I didn't start playing sports until I was 10 years old. Um, that young, honestly, and this is just my opinion, I would put a kid in martial arts at 5 or 6 years old, and then when they turn 10, 11, when they decide they want to play sports, now they know how to handle themselves. Because martial arts will teach you how to control yourself and handle egos and all of that type of stuff. So if it were me, the first thing I would introduce my kid to would be some type of martial arts, mixed MMA. We got a ton of martial now that with the popularity of MMA. Um, I would do like Brazilian jiu-jitsu or something like that. So um, I did a little taekwondo in college. I did a little aikido. Um, but I did that. I did those like when I was in college and as an adult. Uh, I still wish my dad would have got me involved like into karate or something like that earlier. But yeah, martial arts, dude. Martial arts, because that teaches you balance, teaches you control, and it really develops up here. Um, 4th and 1. I believe that was in '91. I believe that was in '91 because that was Seth and Clyde and Jerome Brown and Mike. What's the name? He used to be on ESPN. Mike, the big dude with Mike and Mike, not Greenberg, but the other one. He was there. Um, Byron Evans and yeah, that was I think Reggie White was on the team then, so that was a little bit before me. That was like 2 years before me. My rookie year was 1993. Facts, Tiff. I tell anybody because I bleed green, but I was born in the jungle. So I played for the Eagles, but I was born and raised in Cincinnati. So a couple years ago, when it looked like the Eagles and Cincinnati were meeting the Super Bowl, I was stressing. Man, I was stressing. I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do with myself. If the Bengals go to the Super Bowl, I will be. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I didn't know what I was gonna do. So, thank you, Cody K, Mike Golick. Thank you. Um, Q, are you trained? That's what's up. Bass Root and Crank the other night. That dude is a nut, man. He looked like a cartoon character, man. He looked like somebody from like some made up character from Dragon Ball Z. One of them dudes that remember when they went in the tournament in Dragon Ball Z and they just flicked the meter and they broke the machine because they were just ding and they didn't realize how strong they were. That's what That's what Bass Rutten reminds me of. Mr. What was his name in the show? Mr. Satan, I think it was. All that kind of crazy stuff, man. Uh, but yeah, man, it's get your kids. Vegeta broke it. Vegeta and yeah, Vegeta broke it, and then it was what was that Android 18 that was like kink. So then they had to get another machine because they had to check it for damage. So, well, man, we got it. We got it. We got it. Everybody got what everybody wants what we have. Everybody wants what we have. And I find it funny. I don't know if you guys saw my video, did another video with Mina Kimes. I love doing stuff over Mina Kimes because I like Mina Kimes. Mina Kimes does her homework. That's what I like about her. She does her homework. Let me see if I can find it. But I was talking about there it is. Will the Cowboys catch the Eagles? Right. And the one thing, and this happened last year, and everybody talks about because, and I understand it because the Cowboys will always generate interest and clicks and traffic, things of that nature. But everybody talks about other teams like we didn't get better. That's what annoys me. That's what annoys me. And even she mentioned it in her conversation, but she was dwelling on, I guess maybe because the obviously being biased for Philly and hating the Cowboys, but she mentioned the draft picks and stuff that we had, but the main focus of the conversation was what the Cowboys did. Did the Cowboys do enough to catch the Eagles? And I was like, hell no, they didn't do enough. You got a first year head coach, you got a rookie running back, you got a suspect offensive line, and you got a quarterback that's underachieved and coming off an injury. And you got an offensive tackle that's talking shit, and he ain't even got on the field yet. Not to mention, you got an all-star defensive end / edge who spends more time on his podcast than he does in the backfield. So, and the two weapons that they got, CeeDee Lamb and KaVontae Turpin, they don't give KaVontae Turpin the ball enough. KaVontae Turpin is somebody you find a way to get him the ball. He's that good. And as much as I hate the Cowboys, I got love for KaVontae Turpin because he cut his teeth in the UFL. He earned his shot. He balled out. He was the MVP of the UFL and got an invite to Cowboys camp. And every time he touched the ball, he made something happen. That's all you want. You just want an opportunity, and he made the most of his opportunity. And he reminds me of all them guys that I played with when we was in the World League trying to do the same exact thing. The same exact thing. So, yeah, Tiff, Dak, he been in for a while. He underachieving. And then you think all of a sudden he just gonna reach greatness? And I don't think that they got a good enough team. And they got a first-year head coach. You got somebody coming in there trying to figure it out. And then on top of that, they got to deal with the craziness that is Dallas and Jerry's world. That's a built-in distraction. That's a built-in distraction. One thing I've always respected about Jeffrey Lurie. Jeffrey Lurie's always been hands off. If this is the guy I hired to do a job, I'm going to let him do his job. And a lot of owners don't do that these days. So we'll be in good shape. I'm not worried about it too much. Not worried about it too much. I'm expecting we have, and I don't give a damn what anybody say. I will fight anybody and argue till the cows come home. We have the best leader at quarterback than anybody else in the NFL. Period. I'll die on that hill. We have the best leader at quarterback. Better than Mahomes, better than Josh Allen, better than Matt Leinart, or not Matt Leinart, but Stafford, better than Goff, better than Trevor Lawrence. Who else? Better than Lamar. better than Sam Darnold, better than Geno Smith. We have the best leader at quarterback in the NFL. If y'all want to argue about how good his arm is and all of that kind of stuff, y'all go right on ahead. That it is not um, in my interest to convince you otherwise. My new thing is anybody that want to talk shit on Jalen, or he's not in this list, or he's not in the top 5, and he's like, all the thing I say is my response will be going forward. Um, Say that again. I wasn't listening because I was polishing my ring. Say that. Say that one more time. I wasn't paying attention. I was shining my ring. Keep the main thing the main thing. I don't need to hear all of that. We ain't got to talk trash. When you at the top, you ain't got to talk. There's a time for it, but it ain't right now because everybody chasing. Everybody talking about, well, what had happened was y'all ain't got. Well, you got a new. Those guys left. Everybody giving excuses, and you know what? They said the same shit last year. The defense is not going to be the same. Hassan Reddick's gone, and you know you had a bunch of retirements, and Kelsey's not there, and Jalen Hurts is going to struggle. Fletcher Cox is not there. The defense is not going to be the same. Blah blah blah. At the end of the day, we had to get on the field and we had to work it out for 4 quarters like every other team in the league, and we did it better than anybody else. Saquon Barkley we spent too much money on the middle-aged running back, right? Wasn't that the narrative? We spent too much money. And just a side note, real quick, did y'all see the promos for the documentary that they working on? And I know I mentioned this like right after the Super Bowl, but now it's start. I guess Netflix is putting out, or whoever it is, Netflix or I don't know what, or maybe it's NFL Network. I don't know what channel is coming on, but they started a documentary on the Chiefs, three-peat. Now they just calling it Dynasty something or other. But I was like, yeah, y'all need a new title. Call it Putting the Cart Before the Damn Horse. That's what you need to call it. Because y'all just thought that just by osmosis that the Chiefs was going to just beat us. And that, don't get me started on how many people actually watch the games and study film, because clearly if you watch the games and you study film, there is no way in hell you thought that the Kansas City Chiefs offensive line was going to be able to stop our defensive line. If you watched football all year, you should have known that. That was low-hanging fruit. That was low-hanging fruit. And everybody just conveniently ignored it because Patrick Mahomes is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And, he's just going to do it because he's that. And it's like, man, you got to play against your opponent. And they just gave it to him. Anytime you producing a show and they ain't even played the game yet, how disrespectful is that? Let me answer that question for you. Very, very disrespectful. Y'all putting the show together, that means y'all had to have a team of people, a table full of people, sit down and write out a script that says the Kansas City Chiefs have three-peated. Let's talk about this dynasty. You had a group of people sitting at a table and they all wrote this up and they hadn't even played the game. That is the top level of disrespect right there. I won't even do that. I don't do that when we in the regular season. I am very even keeled, especially when you talk about, well, I got to see them play first. Then we'll see what's what. And even when you watch them play, and even when you formulate their opinion, a lot of times when they come to town, it looks a little bit different. There's always a little extra mustard on it when they come to play Philly in Philly. We get everybody's best game. But they sat down with a group of people. They hired people. They had to hire people to sit at a table and write this shit. And they wrote it Like we just wasn't gonna play the game. And that's how you know you deal with people that don't follow the sport. I had like 2 examples last year. Situations where the people on ESPN clearly they were not watching the game because the comments, and it was one of those situations where it was like a 30-second spot, a halftime report to just catch you up on the details and the stats of the game, who's playing well, who scored, blah blah blah. It's a quick streamlined process. You go through it. But and this was back when Trey Lance was still with San Francisco. And Trey Lance started the 3rd preseason game, and he did not have a great first half. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't good. And then the guy came on and gave his little halftime report, like the game got like Trey Lance lost the game. And Trey Lance actually brought San Francisco back and won the game with a last-minute drive. He took San Francisco down the field and scored to win the game. But I guess whoever was reading that narration hadn't got the memo. And it sounded stupid. And a lot of people called him on the carpet for that. Yeah, Ted, we beat the brakes off of them. That's an understatement. That's a gross understatement. We were beating them jokers, was it 37-0 with 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter? And if we had a backup safety that can get his damn head around, they wouldn't have scored that. I was so mad when he threw that damn touchdown. Dude was right there, just didn't turn his head around. And I was like, and I'm with Jalen. I was with Jalen. I thought Jalen was going to kind of, take over and tell Nick, like, I ain't coming out the game. Because I was with him. Leave the starters in the game, and you beat the ever-loving breaks off them jokers. If we could have scored 60, I wanted 60 points. Leave no doubt. That's what I wanted to do. So I was with Jalen 100%. Get his ass back in the game and score another 2 times. I was like, pulling them out and doing it. I'm like, heck no, man. You in the Super Bowl, you mash on the gas all the way. All the way. I wanted it to be the most lopsided Super Bowl victory since the Chargers lost years ago, or when Atlanta lost that game when the Patriots came back. But you can't say that because, the Patriots scored, 20-something points in the second half and ended up winning the game. And I'm like, I ain't giving them that much credit. We beat the ever-loving breaks off the damn Chiefs. They going to remember that ass whooping for years. For years to come. And y'all got the nerve to write a damn script about dynasty. Y'all better stop playing with me. I'm with Vic, Tiff. I was with Vic. I was mad too. I was throwing hats and fussing and cussing. And my wife came in. She was like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "Man, nah. I'm with you 100%, Jalen Hurts. Keep your starters in the game, and you keep your pedal to the metal until it's all zeros on that clock. If it came out, we score 60 points, so be it. We put the ultimate belt to ass that day. No excuses. No excuses. So we're going to see what's what, man. I'm about to get up out of here. We've been rocking and rolling for about an hour. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. You already know tomorrow is the day. Thursday is always my day. The WNBA starting this week, getting some things going. My new channel is kind of trying to walk. Once we get to 100 subscribers, that's when I consider walking. Right now, we got 57 subscribers on the Hoop channel. So if you like women's college hoop, if you like women's hoop or college hoop, and very soon, I am going to start following European basketball too. FIBA, the Euro leagues, Indonesian leagues, Australian leagues. I am going to start following them. But This is specifically for women's ball, for the WNBA, the NCAA women. Join my channel, Pro Fan Hoops. All basketball, all women's basketball. So, all the ladies in the chat, make sure you tell your friends about me. Join this channel because I'm gonna get this up, and you guys already know the plan. I'm gonna put the brakes on some of the other stuff that I'm doing on this channel. I want this channel to be all Philadelphia Eagles, all Eagles. That's what I want this channel to be, all birds. But I'm having so much fun covering the WNBA. So the plan is I'm going to keep putting all of the content on this channel until I reach 1,000 on this one. And then once I reach 1,000 and then this one is ready to go, then we'll have separate. So yeah, I saw that Derrick Henry got paid. I ain't mad at him. He worth it. He did what he was supposed to do. He did what he was supposed to do. It ain't my fault that they lost that game because the tight end couldn't catch the ball. Not my fault. Get your money. You did what you were supposed to do, Derrick Henry. And he worth it. Even though he on the top side of 30, he worth it. You got about 2 or 3 more good seasons out of him. Easy. Because he takes care of himself. Definitely takes care of himself. But all right, I'm gonna get up out of here. Tomorrow, most likely, unless something crazy happens with the Eagles, tomorrow is probably going to be a WNBA conversation because they made some more cuts today. So we'll get into that tomorrow. But stay tuned. Check the socials. I'll be live on there all day. But pretty good chat today. Pretty good chat today. I appreciate it. But we're gonna keep this thing going. And like I said, when y'all come back tomorrow, invite your friends, invite your play cousins, invite your mama, daddy, auntie, uncle, all of them. Send them the link. We got to get these numbers up. I am one. Let me see. Hold on for a second. I think I am. Did I reach it? Not yet. I'm officially at 6,999. So I need one subscriber to reach 7,000. That's what's up. So we moving. We got organic growth and we rising. We keep rising. We keep on moving. Soul to soul, keep on moving. Don't stop. Keep grinding. So I appreciate everybody. Enjoy y'all evening. Go get yourself something to eat. And I will catch y'all tomorrow, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. Right here, same bad time, same bad channel, 8 o'clock tomorrow night, Pro Fan Talk. We're going to get it done. I will see you guys later. Go Birds.